Hello, fellow leggers.
Another day, another brand new venue for us. I mean, how exciting, because we are at the Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester to see a brand new immersive musical, and that is...
Club Mex.
So stick around to find out all of our thoughts, to find out how many stars...
Whether it's break a leg...
or leg it.
Yeah, fellow leggers, we have travelled up north to the Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester, which has done some really good stuff recently.
They are churning out some fantastic productions,
Yeah.
many of which have transferred into the West End or have been award nominated. Spring Awakening recently had a revival here, which has got a What's on Stage Award nomination. Aspects of Love is currently playing at the Southwark Playhouse in London.
Pippin also originated
recently
here.
So I think quality here, if that's anything to go by, is top notch.
Did Hair start up here as well?
Yes, it did, which we caught at the Vaults. We've got a review for that.
And
just
which is
up
currently
there.
doing the UK tour.
I know, right? I mean, they've gone from
So
here
good stuff.
to London to UK tour.
Good stuff is what we're saying.
I know, and you know,
Which is what's brought us.
it's hard to jump on the hype wagon, but when you know it's renowned for great quality, you've got to bear that in mind, right? Well, this is a brand new musical.
Okay.
It's composer is John Victor, writer is comedian extraordinaire Tamar Broadbent, and director is someone that may be better known as an actress to most of you in musical theatre.
And that is Julie Atherton.
The wonderful
Yeah.
Julie Atherton of Avenue Q, Sister Act. I saw her a few years ago in The Hired Man. She was the best thing about that show.
And talking of men, she's also in The Grinning Man, which played at the Trafalgar Studios.
She was, so she's done the rounds as an actress, but I've never seen her this side of the curtain before, have you?
In a directorial role.
Directorial capacity.
Be nice to see what she does.
Well, Club Mex is promising us an immersive nightclub experience where we are jetted off to the dizzying heights of Cancun in Mexico to spend a few days with a group of three female friends as they experience the highs and lows of a taste of freedom and sunshine and a few cocktails in Mexico.
Is that why we've got these jazzy shirts?
That's why we've worn our sort of going outy jazzy shirts and are freezing to death in January. But you know what? Throw yourself into it. Why not?
And talking about being thrown in, this is an immersive production?
Yeah, I think it's promenade style where you're moving from one space to another. You're caught up in the action and you're encouraged to become part of the scenes. That's probably a bit daunting for a few of you out there, but it reminds me a lot of Here Lies Love. That
I
we
love
saw.
immersive stuff.
Yeah, we saw Here Lies Love in New York and at
Yeah.
the Dorfman in London, and that was set in a New York nightclub scene. So I'm thinking it might be similar to that. And like I say, we love that sort of thing. So hopefully, we're going to have a great time.
Anything
I've
else
had
we
a
need
drink
to know?
already. That's what you need to know. I've had a drink already because I really want to throw myself into this. So when in Mexico, do what the Mexicans do.
Anything else we need to know?
An hour and 25 straight through, so there'll be no breakdown, but you'll be catching up with us at the end to find out all of our thoughts.
So stick around to hear those thoughts and find out how many stars. And that's it.
We'll catch you in a bit. We're heading in.
Well, we've come to the end of Club Mex. Woo, woo.
And I'm not going to lie, guys, I have had a few drinks. I mean, aren't these amazing little branded glowing
So
cups
cool.
that you can have cocktails in and all
And they
sorts?
give you alcohol.
They do give you alcohol.
What's not to love?
Currently on the way out, and I say currently because we must mention that this is a preview, it's a work in progress, it's a premiere of a brand new musical, and it does have some distance still to go. But we'll take that all in mind when we're talking about what makes this show a bloody good night out.
Firstly, I want to say it's our first trip to the Hope Mill Theatre. I really like the space.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It reminds me very much of the Southwark Playhouse. I love that vibe. Intimate, vibrant. The bar area, when packed, is really busy as well. So I really like the theatre. First off.
Tick that off the list then, that's a big check for
Okay,
the
so
theatre.
now let's go on to Club Mex.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? I think that's the first thing. What is it? Is it a piece of theatre? Is it a nightclub experience? Is it a concert? Is it a weekend in Magaluf, or as I like to call it, Shagamuff? What is it? What would you say it was?
I'd say it's the most... Well, it's also, is it a musical or is it a play with music? It's kind of a mesh, it's an experience.
It's unique,
It's
is
unique.
what it is.
It's got a story that is current and fresh and of today. I think if you are of the... It's unashamedly and makes no excuses of the typical person you would see going on an 18 to 30s, just want to go and get wasted, and shag anyone. That is the characters, and that's, I wouldn't say it's who it's appealing to,
Yeah.
because it's not. It's a commentary on those kinds of people and those stories, and it's really funny.
It is really funny. I mean, it's going to appeal more to a certain sort of audience.
I don't know if I'd bring my mum to it.
Yeah, if
or
you're
my
a
nan.
big fan of the In-Betweeners, if you're a big fan of those sort of coming-of-age comedies, like American Pie almost, harking
Yes.
back to 1998, I think that was, maybe
Scary.
99, how long? 20 years ago. That's the sort of level of humour here. It's boob jokes and fanny jokes and sunburn and
Gash.
a lot of gash.
I've got a lot of gash.
But it's a lot of heart as well, because it's three girls on a hen do that are learning things about each other and about themselves that you only experience on that sort of a vacation where you've got to spend a lot of time with these people.
Yes.
And some home truths come out.
And what's really nice is that the characters are really broad strokes, that there's no subtleties in there, and they're all really well defined. I thought that was really nice to put together.
So hats off to the writer, Tamar Broadbent. Now, Tamar is a comedian, actor, writer, award-winning songwriter. She's toured solo shows around the UK and internationally, and you can tell she understands humour. And more to the point, like you say, it's a thin narrative. It is a thin narrative, but she's managed to draw out a lot of what I think they're hoping for this to be, which is just a bloody excuse to have a laugh.
I think what it does is, as well, is it gives women a voice to say, do you know what, sometimes women can be sex mad. And it's okay for women to be brash. We know that anyway, but you don't always see that. Usually it's the lads, oi, yeah, we're
But
going
these are
on our-"
ladettes, and they're unashamed ladettes.
That's a good way of putting it. Unashamed ladettes. It makes no excuses for that type of behaviour. It owns it.
It does. Talk about the director, Julie Atherton, that's had to pull all of this together.
It's immersive production.
I think it's really bold from Julie to take on a challenge like this, where it's not sure what it is, but she's gone, okay, let's roll with that and let's try and find its place. And I think she's made some really great artistic decisions to get those actors involved with you and up in your face, and to just say, let's not overthink it. I don't think as a director, I think as a director you can overthink things, but she hasn't overthought it at all, and she's just made it what it is, which is superficial and unashamedly so.
It's tricky. I think it's really hard because you're working with an immersive piece, so stuff is happening in and around you from one side to the other side. Because you've also got the audience with you, you're trying to get the audience involved in what's going in, so it's very much we're in a club, so directorially that kind of presents some logistical problems, and yet it is very immersive as well. We got wet a number of times, people are being dragged up on stage.
Hashtag made us wet.
And also, in terms of the story, although it's funny, there are some real kind of grounded moments where actually it's an uncomfortable story. We're laughing one moment, and then the other moment
and it's
we've
hard
got to
for
feel
a
for the
director
characters.
to be going along at 300 miles an hour on a level that he's here and clubs and boo, and then to bring it down and ask audiences to be emotionally invested in the narrative. That's a real skill, because to turn the volume down that drastically, you risk losing people, and she hasn't, which is great.
And to rehearse that, an immersive piece without an audience. So I guess it's only now that we're kind of in this preview period that you really start
finding what it is.
You find its legs,
Yeah.
Okay, who else? What next?
Choreographer Genesis Linnea. Now, you might recognise Genesis's name. She was attached to Sylvia, was unfortunately ill, had
Which
an
we saw at
understudy.
the Old Vic.
We did, but we didn't see her, unfortunately, because she was out that night. But she's got some great credits. The Bodyguard, she did In the Heights at the King's Cross Theatre, and she's choreographing here, and thought there were some really lovely touches of movement, especially when you're dragging audience members up on stage, because it is immersive, guys. If you don't want to be part of that dance action, then stay at home, for God's sake.
Have we said that it's immersive?
It's immersive.
I'm not sure if we've mentioned
Just
that.
mention it again, just so they're sure.
So just so you know, it's immersive.
It's definitely immersive.
You're in amongst it.
I would also mention lighting design. Francis Clegg, thought that was interesting, because I did feel like I was in a nightclub. I've got strobes going on. I've got don't epileptics again. Stay at home.
It's tricky because it's early days. Some of it I found a bit too pastel-y, a bit too safe. I would like more neon performance. It's just me, early days.
That's just you. Moving on to a few performers now.
I love the performances.
Cast of
I love the
8.
cast. The cast of 8. I love the females, the 3 of them. I'd
Yeah.
say the individual characters, but I thought they worked really well together.
Shout out to the
Vocally great as well. Shout out to who?
3 women. Alison Arnott as the role of Tiff, the sex-crazed one. We saw her in Eugenius at the other palace.
Yep,
She
love that.
was great. We'll do Emma Louise. I've had a drink. Emma Louise Hoey as Lou. Recently graduated from Mount View, but she was great too.
She was like desperately trying to lose her virginity.
Yeah. We've
That
all
was
been
her
there, right?
narrative. It's a simple narrative, but driven really well.
And Jay, the lead female, is the one on the hen do. Jay Johnson as Mel.
I thought she handled her text so well, her scenes. Like I say, the writing is very funny, but that means nothing unless it's performed well.
What impressed me the most about her was her natural ability to improvise, because the audience are there and they're shouting out and they're sort of getting really involved and
And at one
invested.
point they did.
Yeah, and unless-
the audience ad-libbed and she went with it.
Unless you're an intelligent actor, that can be so off-putting that you can lose it, but she handled it like a master.
Exactly, because it was out of the blue, and being an immersive piece, you could ignore that, which suddenly shuts out the audience, or you could roll with it, and she rolled with it.
She did.
And it was brilliant.
Wonderful job. A couple of guys will shout out Bradley Connor in the role of Graham, the wide boy, the lad.
The lads, is that Graham
The
Gash?
future Graham Gash, was it Gash? It was Gash something, wasn't it? Gashford or something.
The Gashmeister.
The
was his
Gashmeister.
nickname. Yeah, he was great, really committed. He owned that lad role. I thought he was good.
Yep, and also I would like to mention Alvaro Flores as Antonio.
He was kind of like the lead club rep. I thought he was hilarious. He owned that part. Comedy lines, comedy performance.
Yeah, great comedy timing, but thoroughly believable. I mean, he has Mexican ancestry.
Does he?
He's a Mexican heritage.
Oh, so he's pulling on
it
that.
was, yeah, he was just pulling on that as if you could be a Mexican club rep. Let's round it up.
Okay, we are rounding up Club Mex, playing here at the Hope Mill Theatre in Manchester.
And we are going to give
4 stars for this piece.
Yeah, I would say 4 stars with a caveat that if being dragged up on stage and joining in party games, if you wouldn't go on a Club 1830 holiday, even if you're past that now but you would never have done, then maybe this isn't for you. If you
Or if
are...
you don't want to have fun, if fun isn't
Oh,
your bag.
really? Oh, okay.
If fun isn't your bag,
If
yeah,
you hate
I'd
having
say
fun, because I'm
if you
sure that's
hate
a lot
having
of our
fun,
viewers.
then don't come. This isn't for you. However,
If you're
you're
going to let your hair down and you don't
Yes.
mind being caught with your knickers down as well, then come to Club Mex. You're going to have a great time and you're going to be part of something which is, you know, potentially, who knows what this is going to look like in the next 6 months. I don't know, but you're going to be part of that.
You're going to be a part of that. But that's just what we think.
That's just what he thinks.
Just what he thinks.
What do you think? Let us know down below. Have you ever seen anything here at the Hope Mill? It's got a fantastic reputation.
Really has.
Have you seen this piece? Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. We're the Breaker Leggers.
And we'll catch you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.